acting as if he had all of the time in the world, and you stated that you also had all the time in the world. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, all the time allowed to me, yeah. Though it wasn't really an implication. He said he pretty much had all the time in the world. Like, I don't know if that was the exact quote. But that was the general gist, you know? You catching my drift?
Sure. You stated, well, when you put in the evidence for this case, you filed, you submitted 4 traffic stops, correct? 4 incident reports?
I believe so.
All right. And why are there 4 instead of just 1?
Because this was not all one traffic stop. This was a traffic stop into an additional traffic stop into additional traffic stop into additional traffic stop. But if you're asking why, I guess that is because Nolos is not capable of following the rules of the road.
Objection, prejudicial and speculatory.
Can you expand on that for me, Counselor?
Yeah.
How is that prejudicial?
Well, he's opining that my client is not capable of following rules when that's not what was stated by my client earlier.
Your Honor, the facts and evidence are that he can't follow the traffic laws. He's been cited with several citations.
Hold up, and Your Honor, he done said he did all of them. He done said he did all except the yielding. He didn't agree with that one, but he done said he didn't do any of them.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any reason to strike that answer from the record based on the objections you provide, Counselor Daniels. I'll weigh them in the same weight that I weigh your client's testimony. Matt Rhodes arrived at the conclusion it's not necessarily founded in fact, but based on evidence that he reviewed, that was his personal belief. Again, I know how to.
Damn, Norman. Norman speaks good, dude.
So at the time of deliberation,
he speaks good.
Going to be overruled at this time.
All right, Your Honor. So back to your previous answer to my question, you said that this was a series of separate incidents, correct?
Correct, yes.
And what made you decide after the first traffic stop to continue following my client, waiting for him to make another mistake?
It's not that I was waiting for him to make another mistake.
Good. I didn't want to object there because you can lead.
Even pulling into the lane of travel, he failed to signal. So, I mean, not really on me. I was trying to be lenient, you know? Just like the extra mile an hour I give for 36, and 35.
So, but you could have, after any of these traffic citations, you could have pulled off to do other police activities such as pursuits, etc., correct?
That's kind of a loaded question, though you may not think it is, because at the time I was not privy to any information about other pursuits or active situations, or nor did I hear any requests for additional backup. So it's hard to answer that. I mean, hell, I could have taken a lunch break if I wanted. That's on me, but I didn't. I was just doing my job.
In the course of doing your job, do you often spend 30 minutes with the same individual, following them around the city?
Hold on. That's like that the compound. I just don't want to answer improperly and have my words mixed up, you know? Would you clarify?
Can you restate the question for me, Counselor?
Sure. I'm not actually sure if I remember the exact wording of that again, but I will certainly try.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention.
Is it common in your duties to pursue the same individual for 30 minutes at a time?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep.
Are you including high-speed pursuits in that, or are you talking about just okay, excluding those, do you often spend 30 minutes following a single individual around the city?
Objection, your asked and answered. Following and
rebuttal,
pursue
Your
are
Honor?
basically it's like a synonym.
Your Honor, rebuttal. I'm asking to specifically exclude those high traffic situations or high speed chases around the city that can last for hours. I'm asking about general traffic violations. I believe that there is a difference between the two, and I'm asking for clarification.
Counselor, I'm going to assist you with asking the question I believe you're trying to get to, because I understand why he's objecting. I believe the question you're looking for is, do you typically follow people after a completed traffic stop? Is likely what you're looking for, correct?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and sustain the objection. You can re-ask the question. And actually, I'll just ask it directly. Do you typically follow people after a completed traffic stop, Trooper Rhodes?
Yes, especially when they immediately commit a traffic infraction.
Thank
But
you. You may
not
continue,
signaling.
Counselor.
And do you often spend 30 minutes doing so?
Depends. I mean, traffic infractions are just a smaller portion of my. I mean, it's a big portion, but in the grand scheme of things, I think I unfortunately, given my position, get sort of tied into um, more. I don't want to say more important, but what's the term I'm looking for? Sort of on the basis of me sort of being called to higher end.
How many people say it here?
Yeah, I don't always have the time, but when I do have the time and we do have units available, absolutely.
All right, thank you. At any point, did my client express to you his concern that he was being targeted by you?
Objection, you're on a scope.
Your Honor, rebuttal, this is a harassment case, and my client felt harassed. I'm asking the officer if he remembers my client expressing that.
I'm going to overrule the objection because Trooper Rhodes has mentioned other things that Mr. Riker said or did during the course of these traffic stops. I would believe he would be relegated. This is
Understood, Your
within
Honor.
scope. You may answer the question, Trooper.
What was the question?
That would have been a good one
The
to
question
get
was,
sustained.
at any point, did my client express his thoughts on that this was harassment or that he was being targeted by you?
At any point, yes, he did in this courtroom. I think he stated he felt intimidated. He didn't know if he would win. Yeah, I think that. Are you looking for any additional instances, or will that do?
I'm specifically asking for about during the traffic stops, during the incidents in question.
Honey, you got to be a little more specific. Lots has gone on.
Yes, sir. I'm
Honey.
clarifying right now. Thank you.
Yes. I want to say in the second, maybe third traffic stop, he made mention of contacting an attorney. Third traffic stop, I believe. I think we were across from H&O Rental, and he was on his phone, and yeah, he stated he was contacting an attorney. I don't recall if he indicated exactly why. I do know while we were on Calais, which was the fourth traffic stop, he definitely indicated something about harassment, and he was going to sue me.
And what was your response to those statements from my client?
What kind of response? Verbal response? How I felt about it?
No, verbal response.
I don't really know what I said. I mean, honestly, if someone were to do that to me right now, I'd be like, say less. But I don't know if that's what I actually said, but that's what I mentally how it played out in my mind.
So you did not take his concerns seriously?
I wouldn't agree with that. That's kind of just how I respond.
Did you at any point feel that his concerns were valid and perhaps you should move on to other crimes being committed, other infractions, other targets?
I want him to answer that.
I sort of operate on the basis that I operate on the
Is there not
basis
any
that
more?
sort of
I thought there
done
might be some more
you
objections
know,
on there, but there's
too many
no.
other things going on that if I were to have to focus on everything, I would never get anything complete. All right. Now, when he breaks off of a traffic stop without using a turn signal to enter the lane of travel, that's right in front of me. You know, oops, landed in front of me. You know, what do I do? My job, right?
Right. So, yes or no, did you take his concerns seriously at all?
Yes.
And what did you do about that, taking that seriously? What did you do about that concern?
Well, I was informed minutes later by Crystal Clear that a judge was wanting to speak to me. I then contacted said judge and asked if I was officially being summoned to court, to which they replied, yes, I am.
What's the
And here we are,
case? Rhodes is
dealing
being
with,
sued by No Loss for harassment.
or a harassment claim on the basis that your client continuously broke the rules of the road.
So while you state that you took his claims seriously, you didn't do anything or feel anything until you were contacted by the judge, by Crystal Clear, who
Yeah,
said
he's
that
gonna
the
go. I
judge
have no
wanted
idea.
to speak with
I
you.
have no idea. But it's fun though.
Could you repeat the question? I'm trying to
Sure.
understand here.
Sorry. So you said that you answered yes when I asked if you understood his concern, but you did nothing to alleviate his concerns until you were contacted by Crystal Clear, correct?
I
Objection
No.
compound. Make a confusing question, Your Honor. It's big and long.
He's already started answering, Your Honor.
Well, can I finish answering?
Fine by me. I didn't interrupt you.
I'm actually inclined to sustain the objection here, Counselor. If you can break that up for me a little bit into a more simple question,
Sure.
that doesn't have that many elements.
It's all
We can
mind
kind of
games,
break it apart
guys.
piece by piece. We can go
It's
forward.
all mind games.
Objection is sustained at this time.
All right, Your Honor. All right. Just to get my thought train back in motion here. You said that you did acknowledge that my client was feeling harassed or felt he was being harassed.
Objection asked and answered.
I'm asking for clarification so that I can get back on track after the objection. I was asked to break up my questions, and I'm looking for clarification so that I can make my questions more clear.
My
for
statement
the defendant.
stands.
I'm further going to go ahead and sustain the objection here at this, Counselor. Ask that you just move along from this
I
point.
feel so bad.
All right. Do you, as a trooper with a distinguished career, do you take civilian complaints seriously against you?
I typically don't take complaints against me. I mean, the implication there is I would receive the complaint against me, and most times if someone's filing a complaint against me, I wouldn't necessarily feel correct in being the one to document it. It just doesn't feel right,
Ooh, we didn't even ask for No Loss if he
All
made a
right,
complaint.
if someone such as my client were to express their feelings of being harassed to you, would you address those?
Address in what sort of capacity?
Acknowledge it, contemplate where they might be coming from.
I did acknowledge it. I did contemplate where they're coming from, and I came to the conclusion that, unfortunately for Mr. Riker, these were the consequences of his own actions.
I was like, maybe I'll object, but I don't know what the fuck I'd
So
do
the
with it.
consequences of the first traffic stop was to be followed by you for 30 minutes.
When they immediately leave said traffic stop and break another rule of the road, yes, I
Good
wouldn't say
answer, honey.
followed. I was let's see.
Careful, honey. Careful. Don't speak too much. Just answer the question.
I don't quite know the term I'm looking for, but again, I wouldn't say I followed as much as I did. Literally just my job, considering they were breaking the rules of the road continuously, as they stated.
I've got a question to ask, but I'm kind of worried to ask it.
As a distinguished officer, are you familiar with the idea of selective enforcement?
Yes.
And have you ever chosen to not enforce something that was in front of you?
Yeah. It happens depending on
Because I want to.
circumstances, whether that be
We'll see.
resources.
You'll know
available
what
to the police
question I ask.
department, you know, the amount of concurrent calls actively happening, stuff like that. Typically, it comes down to resource management, whether or not we have units to deal with, calls that may not be so important.
All his boys have left, dude.
So based on that statement, because you had nothing more pressing, you decided to document every single misstep my client made?
Laws. That yes, he broke laws.
Documented every misstep on the basis that it happened right in front of me. And I think that's sort of an egregious display of someone very clearly not, quite frankly, I don't think your client deserves to be driving at all. That's the truth. And the basis of that is the fact that they literally could not drive
Why's
away
the
from a traffic
chicken
stop
over
without breaking
there?
another rule of the road.
And you have no leniency for someone who is having difficulty setting their speed limiter and accidentally going 2 miles per hour over the speed limit?
Okay, which one do you want me to answer first? The first part or the second one?
All right, I'll split that up for you. Sure.
I do like this lawyer though.
So, do you have any compassion for someone who is trying to follow the rules and unfortunately not able to succeed in your purview?
Yes. Honey, I done already explained. 36 and a 35, probably gonna let you go. 37, on the other hand, one's an accident. Two,
And
He's so
all right,
petty,
and
dude.
how long was my client driving 37 miles per hour? Was it minutes?
Unfortunately, our radar doesn't really indicate the length of time in which they were at that speed. All I know is that my radar did indicate 37 in an area in which it was 35.
All right. Well, I mean, your counsel has stated that you are an expert witness. So, in your estimation, how long was my client driving 37 miles per hour? Seconds,
Objection,
minutes?
Your Honor. Relevance.
Rebuttal, Your Honor.
You may.
Trooper Rhodes has said that 1 mile over the speed limit is understandable, but 2 is unacceptable. I'm just wondering how long my client was going that speed, if it could have been, a quick, mispedal and then took his foot off the gas and, was working to adjust his speed, or was he going that speed for a length of time that that would indicate that it was intentional?
I understand. Counselor, the only issue that I'm having here with that line of questioning is that the matter that's been brought before this court is a matter of harassment. To me, in diving into this argument, it reads as though you're trying to contest the veracity of the ticket itself. I'll allow the question at this point in time, but I'm going to weigh it accordingly against the matter that you've brought before this court. The objection is overruled. Trooper, you can answer the question, but know that I'll weigh it accordingly.
Okay. Well, I can't be exact. I'm trying to be as sort of I've been.
Ooh,
cautious
chat.
with
Mods, I got an idea.
So I will say it was brief.
Someone just asked,
though I
we're getting a lot
cannot
of questions what the
give
court case is
you- it was
about.
not minutes long.
Can we try using the
It was
pins?
not,
So if you add someone in chat what the
it
case is
wasn't
about and then
an
pin the
extended period of
message at the top of chat.
7 and a 35.
Yeah, big brain did. New Twitch things that we haven't really
Right,
used
so
yet.
despite the brief amount of time, you make no allowances for any wiggle room, any accidental
Sorry guys, I can do it if you want.
excessive pressure on the gas pedal for seconds.
Okay, yeah.
Correct?
It all depends on circumstances. If you're talking about this specific scenario, clearly not, on the basis that I did cite your client.
But you have made exceptions for that on other cases.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So what was it specifically about my client that you felt the need to be, as you said, pedantic?
Well, I as a person,
I'll do that one. Loopy, I'll do it. Oh wait. Everybody
but
did it
this
at
is
the
nothing
same
targeted
time.
against your
Sorry,
client.
Loopy.
Again, selective enforcement is typically sort of done on the basis of whether or not we can entertain certain calls at certain times, depending on the amount of concurrent active scenarios. And hell, there
This
was
has gone on for a long time. I didn't expect this to go on so long, but I'm enjoying it. I actually really enjoyed co-op. Mainly just objecting. I like objecting.
I done said it. I got time. Well, at least I did today.
So it is your statement then that you chose to select this client this time for this level of scrutiny, whereas you may not have done so for others.
I'll clarify. My statement is that I did my job because your client broke the rules of the road. That is my statement.
But you did say that you have used selective enforcement in the past, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained. Move it along.
All right. Let me confer with my client here for a quick second. All right. Is there anything in particular you think I need to mention here?
Yeah, he did the same thing in the February, and he also, since I think he hates me, he wrote, on my MDW profile to not give me any warnings for traffic stops. He wrote it on my profile, and then he lied about it. I had to find out. I asked him who put it in.
Sorry,
who
Jeff.
said he put it on my profile, and he said he doesn't know. I asked another officer, and that officer said it was Matt Rose.
Oh, wait, that's for 20 minutes. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. I can do unpin after.
Officers put on your MDW.
Manually unpinned. There we go.
They've already said I can't bring up February, so
Oh, okay.
I was about, yeah, I overheard them. I was about to object.
all right. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions from this witness.
Thank you, Counselor. Assistant Chief Dark, anything on redirect?
Sure. Honey.
Uh-huh.
Honey, you're on your phone, honey.
I know. I can't. I just can't get this to be done.
You stop playing Flappy Birds now.
He's addicted to social media.
Are you playing Flappy Bird?
Your Honor, I'm twatting.
Mid court
Your high
case?
score 14?
What?
I'm twatting, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna politely ask you to finish your twat and get off your phone.
Done,
this
Your
is
Honor. I was
an
trying to
open
make
court
use of all
proceedings.
255 characters, but I got to 251. Wait, Your Honor.
I did art.
Shut up, Siggy.
Okay.
Your Honor, can you give Siggy contempt of court for that outburst?
What?
Ziggy,
Honor,
this
I'm-
is your first and only warnings.
Okay. Well, Your Honor, can I ask a question? Do you like my art?
I do like your art. That's on the board there. It's beautiful. I like
Thank
to
you.
turn everyone in the courtroom's attention to Ziggy's lovely art of Is that Trooper Rhodes?
Correct.
Your Honor,
Sergeant,
I'll be suing Ziggy Bugs after this court case for defamation of character based on that artwork.
I am conflicted, so you know, you'll have to find a new judge.
All right.
All right, Your Honor, I've twatted.
Okay. All right, perfect. Trooper Assistant Chief.
Oh
you may
yes.
Continue.
Trooper Rhodes. Just kind of open this up here. Based on the statements of the counsellor and the answers you gave previously, he stated he stated to you during the traffic stop that he felt like he was being harassed. Is that correct?
Again, I don't know his exact words, but it was something to that extent. It may not have even been direct. It may have just been the reference to an attorney for harassment.
Mhm.
But it was mentioned at some point, yes.
Okay. At any point during the 4 traffic stops, did he ask for a superior officer at all?
No.
Okay. Did he ask for a member of internal affairs at all?
No.
So, in your experience, based on the actions he did not take, was he looking to make an official complaint against you, or was he just looking for a court case? That's a difficult question. Do you want me to
Objection, Your Honor,
re-ask it?
speculation.
He's an expert witness.
Can you re-ask the question for me?
Yeah, I'll split it. I'll try and split it into. That was a bad question. Okay. Given that he didn't ask for a superior or a member of internal affairs, do you feel like do you feel he intended to make a complaint against you as a police officer?
Honestly, I don't know, because a lot of people don't know sort of the chain of command within the police department. Unless you're a Karen, in which case manager. But beyond that, I mean, I can't say. I don't know if he knows the know-how on.
I understand. Do you feel like Nola Riker is a Karen?
Objection, relevance.
Withdrawn, Your Honor. No more questions.
Thank you.
We all know the answer.
Trooper Rhodes, you can step down.
Your Honor, can I get the Assistant Chief Dark's last statement stricken from the record? Counsel was testifying.
Yes, it's stricken from the record. I don't have anything noted about your client being a Karen.
Thank you.
Definitely a Karen.
You can
All right.
3D print dogs dirty from... Really?
Any
How?
evidence you'd like to present before the court before I deliberate?
Sorry, was that to us or the plaintiff, Your Honor?
That is to you, defense.
Yes, I would like to enter Nolos Riker's tweets into record, Your Honor.
Objection, evidence is closed. Discovery is closed.
While I will
this
not
is
admit the tweets
reference.
themselves as evidence, I have heard both sides testify about them directly. I will weigh them accordingly as I deliberate.
Great. All right, thanks, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yes?
in that case, can I get Officer Rhodes' tweet that he tweeted up on the stand entered into evidence as well?
Yeah, it wasn't said in testimony, Your Honor, and evidence is
It-
closed.
It did happen during testimony, Your Honor.
Okay, Counselor, the tweets in question that that Dark is referring to are tweets that your client on the stand admitted to sending and that the trooper admitted to reading. These are the ones that they are seeking to add at this time. While I'm not adding them into evidence, as I just said, I am taking their spoken testimony on them from both parties into consideration. No new evidence is being added at this time.
Yes?
I got something for you. It's for your Karen comment.
Defense, you may continue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Honey, you're supposed to continue. I don't know.
No, we have no evidence to reference, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and take a brief moment to deliberate. I'll be right with y'all.
Okay, thank you.
Honey.
Yeah?
Okay, I've deliberated on this matter.
Wait,
Oh.
what do we say we want to
The ruling that I have
Excellent.
here before the
Happy
court
birthday,
is
King.
pretty simple. The Fourth Amendment guarantees individuals the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. As this court has repeatedly defined, a detainment is a temporary seizure of an individual's freedom. Before us today, Mr. Riker is asserting that the repeated traffic stops brought forth by Matt Rhodes are harassing in nature. As such, the court finds the following. In a sister jurisdiction, there is a notable case law referred to as Katz v. the United States, and it is defined the following, saying that, quote, a person that knowingly exposes to the public, even in their own home or office, is not a subject of Fourth Amendment protection. While individuals may have a reasonable expectation of privacy in their own bodies, they generally don't have that same expectation when they are out in public. Therefore, police can generally follow a person while they are in public places, thereby making Trooper Rhodes' actions constitutionally sound. However, Mr. Riker brings forward that the repeated traffic stops were harassing in nature. At this time, Counselor, this court is not prepared to set the precedent that the actions taken by Trooper Rhodes were harassing in nature. As testified by Trooper Rhodes, he witnessed the plaintiff commit several traffic offenses. In allowing this claim as it stands, the court would be setting precedent that any suspect pulled over would claim targeted harassment and would severely call into question the ability of the Unified Police Department to conduct their duties given by the Senate and the state. If there were a finding that Mr. Riker had not committed these offenses, there may be a bit of lateral room here to consider charges of harassment. However, this court would also like to remind the plaintiff that harassment in and of itself is a charge listed within our penal code, and either charges can be pressed, internal affairs can be contacted, etc. The discussions presented
sounds like he's written this down.
Enforcement largely do not bear any weight on this matter. Again,
how is he
it's
speaking so good?
And it is a, it's been granted to our department to use at their discretion. As a result, at this time, the court finds that Matt Rhodes is not civilly at fault for the alleged harassment. Now, should the behavior continue, we suggest that the avenues previously noted be taken by the plaintiff for resolving a matter to this effect. However, I do have one final court order before we leave here. Is Officer Henry King still in the room?
Yes.
Okay,
He's
I
over
implore
there,
that
Your Honor.
everybody wish Officer Henry King a happy birthday.
Happy
And with that, this
birthday,
court-
King.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
What? I don't know whether I
Your
can.
Honor, we would like to countersue for defamation.
Oh.
Oop. Oh.
Where's Judge Mays? Is he still here? Judge Mays?
Nope, he gone, Your Honor.
He's gone.
Oop.
He straight dipped.
All right. You're looking to countersue for defamation at this time, Trooper
Yeah,
Road?
yeah.
That's not funny, Your Honor.
What relief are you seeking for the countersuit here?
$5 million.
5,000.
No. Yes.
Your Honor, what's the limit in small claim?
$10,000.
$9,999, Your Honor.
Okay.
can
What
get
is the
my
reason
call.
that you're bringing forward the claim of defamation?
What was that?
For what reason are you bringing forward the claim of defamation?
Mr. Riker on social media indicated that I hate Germans.
Okay. Mr. Riker, is this true?
I did say it in a jokingly manner. I did not mean it serious. As I stated before in my testimony, I thought the beginning was a joke, so I made jokes on Twitter.
Okay.
Rebuttal,
Here's
Your
what I'm
Honor.
gonna go ahead and do. Here's what I'm going to go ahead and do. To resolve this matter, Mr. Riker, as you step out into the lobby here today, I'm not going to assess you a cash fee. You don't owe Matt Rhodes any money. The court is going to order that you twat out an apology to Matt Rhodes for this false statement that you presented before.
Your Honor, what happened to freedom of speech?
It's a blanket statement. It wasn't that he didn't state that I believe. He just said outright, Matt Rhodes hates Germans. He asserted it as a statement of fact, Counselor. We're just asking him to apologize. We're not holding him civilly responsible. We're just asking for an apology. Is all.
Your Honor, I would settle for an apology. I just want people to know that I don't hate German people. Okay.
Understood. Understood. And with that, this court is adjourned. Any questions you can approach.
I got a question.
Hang on.
Is there a time limit on that apology?
Yeah, is there a time limit? What happens if he doesn't do
It
it?
said as he steps out into the courtroom, as he steps
Oh.
out and has his phone, he can make the order. If he fails to do so, it's a violation of court order, and that's